What's happening around the world
and what's happening here at home. A very good evening. You're watching Primetime News coming to 11 direct from our Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. For the Newsfirst team, I am Rochelle Thumadra.
And I'm Sandro Ferdinando. Let's take a look at your headlines for tonight.
President to visit China next week. Cabinet approves several agreements. Compensation for 17 victims harmed by substandard medicine. Suppliers to face legal action. Shooting in Dehiwala. 2 dead. 3 exam papers leaked, disrupting grade 11 term exams in the North Central Province. Corruption behind rice deal. Government under scrutiny for million rupee transaction.
Million 4,875 මොන ඇමතිද ගියේ කියලා අපි ප්‍රශ්න කරන්න කැමතියි.
කවුද report එක කරලා තියෙන්නේ? මොන report එකක්ද මොකක් ගැන තියෙන්නේ? නෑ මම ඔබතුමාට ඉන්නවා කියලා ඔබතුමා report එකක් කරන් කියනවා සහල් වල මිලක් ගැන. ඉස්සරහකට එන්න මම කියන්නම්.
In your top story for tonight, Minister and Cabinet spokesperson Nalinda Jathis announced that President Anurakumar Dissanayake will commence his visit to China on the 14th of this month. In conjunction with this, several proposals presented to the Cabinet received approval yesterday.
President Anurakumar Dissanayake will begin his visit to China on the 14th of January, which will continue until the 17th of January. The President will be accompanied by the Minister of Foreign Affairs Vijitha Herath and Minister of Transport, Highways and Civil Aviation Bimal Ratnayaka.
In conjunction with the President's visit, several proposals were presented to the Cabinet and received approval yesterday. These include the continuous adherence to the One China policy, recognizing the People's Republic of China as a sole legal government of China and Taiwan as a province of China.
As a country, our policy is that certain decisions made by the previous cabinet must be approved by the current cabinet, even after a new government is formed. This is not specifically related to the visit to China. Whether we go to China or not, we will adhere to this policy.
Additionally, the cabinet approved several agreements with the People's Republic of China.
China Media Group Sri Lanka Sanchar.
A proposal has been forwarded to sign a memorandum of understanding between China Media Group and Sri Lanka Tourism Promotion Bureau, with the objective of making Sri Lanka a pioneer tourist destination for Chinese tourists, utilizing modern technology and expertise of China Media Group, subsequent to the cooperation between the two parties. A proposal has been forwarded to sign an agreement for health requirements in relation to the relevant procedure between the two countries to carry out the export of chicken to China from Sri Lanka, with the mediation of General Administration of Customs and the People's Republic of China. The People's Republic of China has provided the following emergency humanitarian aid of 35.7 million yuan for small-scale fishermen in northern and eastern provinces of Sri Lanka, 75,000 fisheries nets for small-scale and low-income generating fishermen, 500 precasted houses for small-scale and low-income generating fishermen, 1,630 tons of rice for small-scale and low-income generating fishermen. The Cabinet of Ministers has given their concurrence to the resolution furnished by the Minister of Fisheries, Aquatic and Marine Resources to sign the said certificate for providing emergency aid between Sri Lanka and the People's Republic of China. A memorandum of understanding between the Ministry of Health and Mass Media and the National Radio and Television Administration of the People's Republic of China. A memorandum of understanding between the Associated Newspaper Silon Limited and Xinhua News Agency of China. A memorandum of cooperation between the Department of Government Information and Xinhua News Agency of China. And a memorandum of understanding between Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation and the China Media Group will also be signed.
The Cabinet has decided to compensate 17 individuals who experienced vision problems following surgeries at the Nuwara District General Hospital. This decision was made during yesterday's Cabinet meeting. The decision follows the approval granted at the Cabinet meeting held on the 12th of February last year.
What happened at the Nuwara Eliya Hospital? During the 2022-2023 period, there were continuous allegations regarding substandard medications. Among these, there were accusations related to an eye medication used during this time. The initial complaints arose in April 2023, when patients who underwent cataract surgeries suffered various complications. These patients were from both Noor Elia General Hospital and the National Eye Hospital. The affected patients claimed that the complications occurred after using a solution called prednisolone in their eyes. Although there were statements about taking action against the medication and its suppliers, no specific steps were confirmed at that time. Meanwhile, the current government has approved compensation for 17 individuals who experienced vision problems. According to the cabinet decision made yesterday, 12 victims will receive 1 million rupees each. 2 victims will receive 750,000 rupees each. 1 victim will receive 700,000 rupees and 2 victims have also been awarded 250,000 rupees each.
ඖෂධවල තියෙන ප්‍රශ්නයක් ඉඳ තමයි මේක වෙලා තියෙන කියන එක දැන් තහවුරුයි. ඇයි ඒකට ආණ්ඩුව වන්දි ගවන්නේ? මේ අදාළ සමාගම් වලට කිසිම වගකීමක් නැද්ද මේ මෙලෙස මේ දෘශ්‍යාබාධිත තත්ත්වයටපත් වෙච්ච රෝගීන් සම්බන්ධයෙන්?
සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඖෂධ සමාගම් යම් ඖෂධයක් ලියාපදිංචි කිරීම.
Typically, pharmaceutical companies are held accountable when registering a drug. If they supply substandard medication, their registration can be cancelled and legal action can be taken. The cabinet has decided to pursue legal action in this matter. We will seek higher compensation from the companies through legal means. The government has a responsibility as the medication was distributed and administered through the public hospital system, even though it was supplied by the private sector.
Recently, there has been a growing debate regarding the removal of accessories from private passenger buses and three-wheelers.
This topic has sparked various opinions, particularly across social media platforms. The Newsfirst digital team made an inquiry to explore the matter further.
Hi guys! Right now I am on my way to Colombo. So these days people are speaking about vehicle modifications. Some people say it's good and some people say it's bad. So what are the people thinking about it? Let's have a look.
We visited the central bus stand in Peta and asked people there about what they think about this. We also asked the people who travels in buses about what they think about this initiative.
මංගාවක් තියෙනවා වීලක. ඒක මේ මොඩිෆයි කරන්න කැලි බඩු තියෙනවානේ. ඒක අරගෙන හයි කරනවා. ඒක හයි කරන ආසාවට. ළමයිගේ ආසාව අපේ ආසාව.
We also spoke with those who are involved in the business of modifying vehicles.
Clean Sri Lanka project එකට අපි ගරු කරනවා. ඒක විය යුත්තේ මහ ජනතාවටයි පාරිභෝගිකයාටයි ඒ කියන්නේ රටේ මහ ජනතාවට අසාධාරණයක් නොවන විදිහට. මේ ශේෂ්ත්‍රයේ මොඩිෆිකේෂන් ශේෂ්ත්‍රයේ පවුල් 10000කට වැඩි යැපෙනවා. එක්කෙනෙක් දෙන්නෙක් නෙමෙයි. දෙකපාර මේක ක්ලීන් ශ්‍රී ලංකා කියලා ගියාම රජය අතනින් නවත්තන්න ඕනේ ඉස්සෙල්ලා හාබර් එකේ.
Today we talk with a lot of people. We talk with the drivers, with the people who bring these items, bring these modifications to Sri Lanka as well. So they have a lot of ideas. What do you think about it?
A group of private bus owners operating under the All Silon Integrated Transport Society held a press conference in Colombo today to express their dissatisfaction with the removal of additional accessories from buses. This group includes owners of buses used for public transportation and special tours. During the press conference, they responded to questions from journalists.
The Motor Traffic Commissioner issued Circular Number 6 of 2024, which legally approves additional modifications to buses through a Gazette notification. We have received approval for these modifications, so calling us lawbreakers is unfair. We strongly oppose any attempts to harm the bus industry by showcasing such issues.
කඩාවට්ටන්න හදන උත්සාහයට අපි දැඩිම විරෝධය පළ කරනවා.
පෞද්ගලික බස් රථ ගෙනියන තීරණ කිව්වද ලංකා?
අයිතිකාරව ගත 8000ක් 9000ක් විතර. ජනගහනය කොටස් 2 ලක්ෂ ජනගහනය.
ඒකට ඒ ජනගහනයේ ඒ ජනතාවට ඕන විදිහට බස් දුවන්න ඕන පාරේ අයිතිකාරව කරනවා.
අපි දෙගොල්ලන්ටම ඕන විදිහට දුවන්න බෑ. ඒ කස්ටමර් විදිහට අපි එයාට අවශ්‍ය ප්‍රවාහන සේවාවක් අපි සලසන්න ඕන.
මොන වගේද උතුමාට කිව්වා සුභියාකට වලින් මේ ඉස්සරහට ගහන්න ඕන, කන්න ෆයිට් කරන්න ආවේ සුභියාකට දාන්න ඕන. අතුරු විදිවල වෙන්න ඕන මොන වගේද උතුමාට මේවා කිව්වේ.
අපේ බස් එකේ කවුරුත් ඒ පිළිබඳ එපා කියලාත් නෑනේ මගේ.
ඒක අශෝක් ලේලන් සමාගම තමන්ගේ බස් රථේ එළියට දානකොට එයාගොල්ලෝ අනුතුරට ලක් කරන බස්. ඒකෝල ඒකේ වෙන හානිය ගැන ඒගොල්ලෝ තීරණයකට එනවා. දැන් ඔය මොඩිෆිකේෂන් කරාට පස්සේ ඒ අදාළ රටේ අනුතුරට ලක් කරලා එහෙම පරීක්ෂාවක් කරනවා.
අනුතුර ලක් කරලා පරීක්ෂා කරන්නේ නෑ මේ නෑ නේ.
පස්සේ ඇක්සිඩන්ට් එකකදී වෙන හානිය කවුරුත් දන්නේ නෑ.
මේ මම මොටර් රථ ප්‍රවාහන කොමසාරිස්තුමාට තමයි පැමිණි කළ යුත්තේ.
හරි. එතකොට ඕකේ තිබුණාට නැතත් නීතිය වෙනස් වෙනවා නම් හරිද අලුත් චක්‍රලේඛයක් එනවා නම් ඒ චක්‍රලේඛයට අනුව සියලු මොඩිෆිකේෂන් අයින් කරන්න කියලා කිව්වා. ඒවා අයින් කරලා පාර කරනවා ලෑස්ති.
අපිට ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ.
පොදුම ඒ බස්සල අරවදට
ඔව්
අපිත් යනවා. හරි. කන කැලෙන්න මියුසික් දාගෙන. හරිද සීට් එකේ දෙන්න ප්‍රවාහයෙන් ඉඳ නැහැ. හරිද? එහෙම යන ඒ වගේ අබෝව ප්‍රමිතියක් නැහැ. ඕන එකක්වත් බෑ. කොහොමද මේ
පොදු ප්‍රවාහන බස් රථවල යම් කිසි එහෙම වෙලා දෙයක් කරනවා නම් ඒවට පැමිණි කරන ආයතන තියෙනවා. ඒයි ජාති ගමනාගම
If the police properly enforce the law, no bus would be modified in this manner. About 60% of the population uses these buses for clubbing and other activities. Luxurious buses are not needed for such purposes. Foreigners and locals have recognized these buses as good, but we need to ensure they are properly maintained and provide a quality service.
බස් එක හරියට හදාගෙන නියම ජනතාවට නියම සේවයක් කරන බස් රථ සේවයක් ඇති කරන්න කියලා. මොකද රෝඩ් දුවන බස් එක ඇත්තටම ගෝසාකාරී පුදුමා ඉල්ලීම් කරලා ගෝසාකාරී පරිසරයක් තියෙනකොට කොහොමද යන්නේ කියලා.
ඔබගේ සංගමේ බස් කීයක්ද?
බස් 15000කට හැපැත්ත තියෙනවා.
ඔබතුමා ඔය තහනම් කියපේ ඕනතරම් බස් වල තියෙනවා.
තියෙනවා.
ඒක අයින් කරන්න ඕනේ ඔබතුමා.
ඉතින් ඒක මේක වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. මේක තමයි මම කිව්වේ විනය හදන්න කියන්නේ මේක ඇහිලා මේක ඇහිලා ඒක තමයි නීතිය හදන්න පොලිසියම.
දැන් ඔය ඔබතුමා කියන ඒවා කරන්නේ කියන වැරදි කරන්නේ ඔබතුමාගේ සංගමේ කට්ටිය.
සමිති සමාජිකෝ ඒක තමයි සංගම් කියලා සංගම් වලට ගෙනල්ලා කට්ටිය ඇවිල්ලා කිව්වහම ඔළුව වනලා හරි කියලා මාස දෙකක් හරි රජය හරියට දීලා ඊට පස්සේ මං කියන්නේ දීලා නැති සියලුම දේවල් ඉවත් කරන්න කියලා. මේක ඉවත් කරන ක්‍රමයක් කොහෙන් හරි එන්න ඕනේ.
An early morning shooting on Vattarappala Road in Mount Lavinia resulted in the death of 2 men. Police said that one person died on the spot while the other succumbed in hospital. The shooting was carried out by 2 unidentified motorcycle gunmen.
Two men were shot early this morning in Mount Lavinia. According to police, 2 unidentified individuals arrived on a motorcycle and carried out the shooting using a 9mm pistol before fleeing the scene. One person was found dead at the scene. He was identified as 36-year-old Sudat Gomez, who was inside the house at the time of the shooting. Another victim, 21-year-old Chanuka Vimukti, was admitted to the Kalubovila Teaching Hospital and later succumbed to his injuries. Mount Lavinia Magistrate A.D. Chaturika Silva visited the scene this morning to conduct the magisterial inquest. Initial police investigations revealed that the shooting was a result of an ongoing conflict between two organized crime figures known as Badovita Asanka and Kosmali, who are currently believed to be in Dubai. The two men who were killed today were associates of Badovita Asanka. The police have identified the suspects involved in the shooting and have launched a special operation to apprehend them. It was also revealed that this conflict has led to several shootings in the past, resulting in the deaths of 6 individuals. This incident marks the second shooting reported in the first 7 days of this year. The first shooting occurred on the 4th of January in Vallivela Valigama, where a 26-year-old father, Akash Taruka, was killed. A group returning from the funeral of an inmate who died in the Mathura prison was attacked by unidentified assailants travelling on 3 motorcycles. The incident occurred as the group was making their way back home. The shooting resulted in the death of 26-year-old Akash Taruka, a father of 1. The final rites of Akash Taruka were observed this afternoon at the Kapparatota Public Cemetery. During a press briefing on cabinet decisions, journalists questioned the government about the ongoing violence.
We need to clarify to the public what is happening. These incidents are related to organized crime. It's not just about gang activities. It's also connected to drug trafficking and money laundering. This is a network. The security forces are already taking action with intelligence units involved. As I mentioned in previous press briefings, we are not looking for quick fixes. We are working on long-term solutions. The President and Minister of Public Security have given directives to the relevant departments. I believe you will see results.
Tonight on What Happened to the Village, we bring details of a rupees 1.2 billion project.
What happened to the village?
What is this? This is a BOI project located in Habaradua. It started in the year 2000 with the aim of building 516 houses to be sold at subsidized prices to government employees. Now, 22 years later, this is what has happened.
මේ ව්‍යාපෘතිය මේ විදියට දකින්න ලැබීම මම හිතන්නේ හබරාදුව නගර වාසී අපි සියලු දෙනාටම මහත් ඛේදනීය තත්ත්වයක් පසුගිය රජයන් වල කරපු මුදල් අපරාධයක් තමයි මේ දකින්න ලැබෙන්නේ. රජයේ සේවකයන්ට කියලා තමයි මේ ව්‍යාපෘතිය ආරම්භ කරේ. අද ඔබට පේනවා ඇති මේ ව්‍යාපෘතිය කොතරම් දුරට අකාරණාශීලතාවයට පත් වෙලාද කියලා. කෝටි ගණනක් කියන්න බැරි ගණනක අපරාධයක් තමයි මේ වෙලා තිබෙන්නේ.
මේ විශාල මුදල් ප්‍රමාණයක් මේ රටේ ජනතාවගේ බදු මුදලින් අය කළා වෙන් කළා මේ හදලා සකස් කළා. අද කුඩුකාරයන්ගේ මංකොල්ලකාර හොරුන්ගේ තෝතැන්න බවට පත් කළා දිනුවා. මේක ජාතික අපරාධයක්. මේක ගණිකා මඩමක් බවට පත් වෙන තත්ත්වයට පත් වෙලායි තියෙන්නේ.
The project includes 8 housing units, each with 4 floors. Work began in 2003 but was halted. In 2016, a cabinet paper was issued seeking approval for an additional 600 million rupees. At that time, there were allegations that the company selected for the construction was chosen through improper procedures. Let's look at those separately. The current issue is the state of this project. An estimated 1.2 billion rupees was to be spent, and a significant amount has already been spent. Now, day by day, the project is deteriorating. These are truly national crimes. Shouldn't these be investigated from every angle? If this project had been completed, it would have greatly benefited government employees in the southern province. Now it has become a burden to Habaradua. Shouldn't those visiting the village for votes investigate this immediately?
What happened to the village?
On the 5th, we revealed the situation of the Liangastota bridge. The office of the opposition leader Sajid Premadasa has responded. They stated that work began on the 1st of October 2018 but had to stop 25 days later on the 26th of October due to the appointment of Mahinda Rajapaksa as Prime Minister. The work did not resume even after the 2019 presidential election. This is another instance of passing the blame. However, in a few months, many of our leaders will have to return to their villages, won't they?
What happened to the village?
A heated debate on the rice shortage in the country erupted in Parliament today between Minister of Trade Wasantha Samarasinghe and parliamentarian D.V. Chanaka.
I am very disappointed to expose the very first large-scale fraud committed by this government. In December, the central bank reports that the price of red raw rice is 250 rupees in the Peta market, 250 rupees in the Narayanpeta market. The government says that the control price is 225 rupees. Today I went to purchase rice and it was not available. There is no price for red raw rice in the central bank report now. There is no way to indicate the price of red raw rice because there are no stocks in the market. Back then, Wasantha Samarasinghe used their egg formula and said that the price of eggs decreased to 25 rupees since the amount pocketed by the minister was reduced. Now that the price of rice has increased from 210 rupees to 250 rupees, we would like to question which minister did that money go to? Which minister got the 4,875 million rupees? A fraud of 1,870 million had been committed during the import of rice. The first thing they did is make a mistake in the tender issued by the government. It is not me, but the Department of Census and Statistics who says that these stocks of metric tons of rice were sold in Sri Lanka for 240 rupees. Who took the commission of 22 rupees from 85,000 metric tons?
Who prepared that report? What is the report you are talking about? You have found some report and you are talking about prices of rice. That is wrong. If the Department of Census and Statistics is sharing wrong information, actions should be taken, because if there is a problem with the information at the Department of Census and Statistics, they should inquire about it from us. Satosa and the cooperative network is used to provide rice.
Not only the Department of Census and Statistics, go and check at the shop in your village. Imported rice is being sold at 240 rupees. The imported rice is not at Satosa. It is sold outside.
You better redo the math on that report, because it is not 85,000 tons. 106,000 tons were brought down on the 6th. 7,000 tons were brought down today. Although you have a calculator, you cannot do math like that. It is because of the things that you did that the treasury was empty and the paddy storage facilities also did not have any stocks. That is the reason why we had to import rice and give it to the people.
රුපියල් 35 ඉඳන් 25ට මැමතිට ගිහ රුපියල් 10 කොමිස් එක ඒ ක්‍රමයට තමයි මාත් මේ ගණන් හදන්නේ.
දාන කියන්න. ඇයි දැන් කීයද බිත්තර?
What is the price of eggs now? Did you not eat salmon for 380 rupees that you said were 490 rupees? Please sit down. We are working to dismantle this rice mafia so that the people can be given these goods at a cheaper price. According to the records that were available, we had a surplus of rice for 2 months.
මාස දෙකමාරක් අතිරික්ත සහල්. මෙච්චර සාක්ෂි කියලා දාන්න කියනකො පැමිණිල්ල. ඒ පැමිණිලි දාන්න යන්නේ නැහැ. මොකද දාන්න ගියොත් ඇතුළට යන්න ඕනේ. ඒ නිසා.
News first with the people.
The Sri Lanka College of Pulmonologists convened a media briefing in Colombo today and spoke about the virus that is rapidly spreading in China.
This virus was discovered about 20 years ago. COVID was a new virus, and because of that we didn't know how it will affect our immune system. When something like that happens, since it's a new virus, as soon as it enters our body, it can spread rapidly and cause serious harm. It has been discovered that this human metapneumovirus had begun infecting people about 50 to 60 years ago. The opinion among many countries in the world is that we need not be too alarmed about this virus. We also hope that the World Health Organization will put out some recommendations regarding this virus soon. As specialist doctors, what we can say is that right now there is no evidence to suggest that this virus is spreading in Sri Lanka or is causing any harm to us. Even in India, there were so many programs that were conducted on this subject, and when I watched those, I realized that there is no need to be too alarmed about the situation.
The term exams for grade 11 in all government schools in the North Central Province have been cancelled until further notice. This decision was made due to the premature release of several exam papers.
Information has emerged that the Sinhala Literature, Science and English exam papers for the grade 11 term exams in the North Central Province were leaked in advance. The Anuradhapura District Crime Investigation Division began preliminary investigations this morning regarding the leaked exam papers. The Silon Teachers Union has stated that immediate legal action should be taken regarding these incidents.
The biggest issue here is that a significant amount of money has been spent by the Provincial Council on these exam papers. Printing exam papers for 5 subjects alone costs around 2.5 million rupees. This money was allocated for the education of the children in the North Central Province. The Ministry of Education must ensure that all those involved in this incident are given the maximum punishment.
උපරිම දඬුවම් කරන්න අධ්‍යාපන අමාත්‍යාංශය කටයුතු කළ යුතුයි.
What is the legal recourse for leaking exam papers?
In Sri Lanka, we have Public Examinations Act. According to this act has identified number of criminal offences. Section 6 explains question papers to be secret documents. This act treats question papers relevant to public examinations as secret documents. If anyone theft or disposal of secret documents is a serious offence, it comes under Section 8, and divulging of information relating to or making fraudulent alteration in answer scripts or mark registers also an offence under Section 7. And Section 10 also explains fraudulent misdelivery of secret documents. If someone leaks examination papers to a third party without getting permission, it will be an offence.
Meanwhile, a teacher has admitted to leaking the answer sheets for the grade 6 and 7 geography exams on social media before the exams. This was revealed during an investigation. The exams were scheduled to be held on the 10th of this month. During a press briefing to announce cabinet decisions, journalists also raised questions about this issue.
Education authorities must take responsibility for this. We are conducting the necessary investigations. Our goal is to intervene quickly and stop these activities. Authorities must ensure the security of exam papers. We are paying close attention to this matter. Legal action will be taken and investigations are ongoing.
On to your news overseas. For months now, Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has been asked variations of the same question: will you step down?
But though he vowed to stay on as Liberal Party leader, despite deepening frustrations amongst voters and political rivals surging in the polls, even the self-described fighter could not withstand the growing chorus of members of his own party calling for him to resign. Here are more details.
Now, 2024 was regarded as a significant year in the political arena. Now, we here in Sri Lanka experienced a presidential election, which was followed by a parliamentary election. Our close neighbours, India, hosted an election as well, and a political powerhouse in the world, USA, also hosted an election. Now, we also did see some chaos in Bangladesh after then Prime Minister, you could say, Sheikh Hasina was ousted from the country. We also did experience some chaos in Iran as well, all of which now we have been following closely here at Newsfirst. And we entered the new year 2025, and only a week into the new year 2025, almost 6 days you could say, Justin Trudeau, the Canadian Prime Minister, has announced his resignation, ending his 9-year stretch as a leader. Now, Trudeau's said that he would stay in office despite announcing his resignation. He has said that he would stay in office until his party, the Liberal Party, can choose a new leader, and then you could see, or you would see rather, Canada select a new Prime Minister. Now, what did the President of the Liberal Party have to say or have to comment on this? Now, what he said, that is, Sachit Mehra said that in the following weeks, or in this week rather, the board of directors of the party would host a meeting, and then the process of selecting a new leader for its Liberal Party will take place.
This country deserves a real choice in the next election, and it has become clear to me that if I'm having to fight internal battles, I cannot be the best option in that election. I intend to resign as party leader, as Prime Minister, after the party selects its next leader through a robust, nationwide, competitive process.
Now, the question amidst all this is, why did the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, resign? Now, a series of ethics scandals early on began to take the sheen of the government, where he was found to have violated federal conflict of interest rules in the handling of a corruption inquiry, namely the SNC levelling affair and for luxury trips to the Bahamas. Now, go back into 2019. In a general election in 2019, his party was reduced to a minority status, meaning the Liberals had to rely on the support of other parties to stay in power. Now, a snap election in 2021 did not improve their fortunes as well. And more recently, Trudeau faced headwinds from cost of living increases and also inflation that have contributed to election upsets around the world. Moving on to 2020, he faced scrutiny for picking a charity with ties of his family to manage a major government program. Now, we just explained to you why the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, resigned, and we highlighted a few points on the increase in cost of living and also inflation playing a part. Another question that comes along with this is, who are the potential candidates that can take over from the Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who has resigned? Now, one such name is former Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland, as you see behind me on this screen. Who is the Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland? Now, she had long been seen as a senior official in his inner circle, that is the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, and a rift with the Prime Minister's office led to her recent abrupt resignation in December as well. So she is one potential candidate that can take over from the Prime Minister of Canada who resigned, Justin Trudeau. Now, another name on the list of potential candidates is the former central banker Mark Carney. The question again, who is Mark Carney? Well, as you know, he is the former central banker. Now, Mark Carney is someone who Justin Trudeau himself admitted that he had tried he had been trying rather to recruit him to his team long ago, most recently as the finance minister. Now, Justin Trudeau himself told reporters on the sidelines of a NATO conference in July 2024 that he would be an outstanding addition at a time when Canadians need good people to step up in politics. Now, amidst all this political chaos that is taking place in Canada, the question is, what next for Canada? Now, Canada must have its next federal election by October, but it is likely that a vote will be held before that. Now, at the same time, previously we've seen the official opposition of Canada, or in Canada rather, that is the Conservative Party, trigger a vote on no confidence and later trigger elections. Now, will this be the time that we see a change in Canada? Stay tuned, as we will be following this story closely and bringing you the latest.
A strong earthquake killed at least 95 people in Tibet and left many others trapped as dozens of aftershocks shook the high-altitude region of western China and across the border in Nepal.
China's state-run news agency Xinhua reported at least 95 people had been killed and 130 injured on the Tibetan side. There were no reports of deaths elsewhere. Rescue operations are currently underway. The earthquake that hit Tibet's holy Shigat city had a magnitude of 7.1 and a depth of 10 kilometers, according to data from U.S. Geological Survey, which also showed a series of aftershocks in the area. Tremors were also felt in neighboring Nepal and parts of India. Earthquakes are common in the region, which lies on a major geological fault line. Chinese state media reported the earthquake as having a slightly lesser magnitude of 6.8, causing obvious tremors and leading to the damage of 1,000 houses. There have been several strong aftershocks.
Moving on to local news, the Telecommunications Regulatory Commission of Sri Lanka has approved packages for the Starlink satellite broadband internet service. The Telecommunications Regulatory Commission of Sri Lanka has approved the packages for the Starlink satellite broadband internet service, which will be operated by Starlink Lanka Private Limited. According to the approval, there are 5 packages available, ranging from a minimum of Rs 9,200 per month to a maximum of Rs 1.8 million. Additionally, the TRCSL announced that starting January 29, 2025, non-registered SIM-enabled devices will not function on any telecommunication networks in Sri Lanka. Devices already connected to the networks before the 28th of January 2025 will not be affected by this new regulation.
The carcasses of 11 dolphins was found along the Kolan Cemetery region of the Wilpattu beach. These were fully grown dolphins and the cause of death has not yet been ascertained. The Animal Welfare Coalition convened a press conference in Colombo to address concerns over the canine population in the country.
They had a big dog issue because lots of people from the district of Anuradhapura itself were coming and abandoning a lot of puppies and kittens in the premises. I think they had over 300 in that one temple itself. So if some programs, as mentioned earlier, some proper systems can be put in place where these villagers can be helped, they will definitely sterilize their dogs. And that will greatly assist in the population control program of Sri Lanka. But a systematic program has to be implemented, otherwise it will not work. Ad hoc, a little bit here, a little bit there, doesn't work. There have been proposals given, so the infrastructure is there, the program plan is there. It's just that it has not so far been implemented successfully due to lack of coordination between the various departments and not seeking assistance with some of the departments that could also help the health ministry in this program. So dog population control, humane dog population control via spay, neuter, vaccinate is possible.
The 5-day-long Indian Film Fest 2025 kick-started in Colombo.
The Indian Film Festival commenced on the 6th of January 2025, running through to 10th January 2025, showcasing a curated lineup of Indian films in various cities across Sri Lanka. The festival opened on Monday with the screening of the Bollywood blockbuster 83 at PVR Cinema in Colombo. Organised by the High Commission of India in Colombo, in collaboration with the Swami Vivekananda Cultural Centre Colombo, the festival promises to highlight India's cinematic diversity with an exciting mix of drama, romance, action and historical epics. These films offer a unique glimpse into the colourful and diverse world of Indian cinema. The opening was attended by Minister of Sports and Youth Affairs Honourable Sunil Kumar Gamage and High Commissioner Santosh Jha, 1996 cricket legends Arjuna Ranatunga and Aravinda De Silva.
The press conference for the second edition of the HSBC Silon Literary and Arts Festival was held in Colombo today.
The second edition of the HSBC Silon Literary and Arts Festival is set to take place from the 17th to 19th January at the historic Colombo Public Library, celebrating its centenary year.
The festival was set to build profile for Sri Lanka using art and culture, which actually builds and enhances the soft power of the country, which is extremely important in times like that, purely because to build confidence among the tourists, and which we have just exceeded the 2 million mark, and also for investors when they come into a country of flourishing. Creative industry is always very encouraging for people to be there. We're also expanding our focus on art, films and music will be next year.
The festival focuses on youth engagement with free student passes available and will spotlight Sri Lanka's cultural landscape on a global stage. Tickets are also available on the website Silon Literary Festival. The festival features over 32 sessions with more than 50 distinguished authors and artists, including Pulitzer Prize winners, Gratian Prize recipients and state prize honours. It offers workshops and panel discussions and creative sessions across literature, art, film and youth development.
And with that, we wrap up news for tonight.
Thank you for joining us. Good night.